Hello and welcome to Next Day Solar. We're up here on the roof in Slough. Behind me is going to be over 44 360 watt solar panels. If you're interested in seeing how the installation went, watch this video and we hope you enjoy it. Hello, well we're in Slough and we're just starting our project with the 15.4 kilowatt hour system on this lovely new barn that's been done. What we're doing now is just lengthening out our cables, making sure we've got all the cable runs correctly done. Our roofing team are actually getting up on the roof because we're going to be running some trunking up and down the sides of the roof, so we're getting all that organised. We're actually just checking the scaffolding is safe and we're happy with all the scaffolding. We are making an access point where our DC cable is going to run into the building. That's really important so we can safely isolate all the cables before we do any connections on the roof. Then going to be sizing up, making sure our panels and bracketry are in the right places, running our lines, and then we're starting. So that's where we are. It's nice and early, it's a lovely sunny day, and we're looking forward to the rest of it. So I hope you enjoy and keep on watching. First part of the job is to actually test the panels.
So you get a sunshine measurement at the same time as a voltage and amps measurement.
Interesting.
And you know that it's working to its parameters.
With the meter that we are expecting.
Yeah.
Just working out the heights of the different rails that we're going to be putting on. It's about checking. So we got the heights absolutely spot on for the roofers, so we line the rails up perfectly, and that's critical. So always the project in the beginning, a lot of time checking. Hello, well we're up here on the scaffolding. We have just done a lot of the marking out and laying out, setting out. What you can see here, these are for 450 length quick fix brackets. They're going to the steel trapezoid roof. We've set out, ready for the first two panels to go on, put the panels on, check we're all happy, and then we'll carry on and quickly go for the rest of them. So that's where we're up to so far, all going well.
Be careful of the scaffold bars, do not touch the front of this sheet. Right, okay, let's keep it flat, keep it under.
We have installed the first two panels. We've installed the first course of brackets for the AC PV line, and we're just identifying the first set of cables. We'll run them to the panels and then we'll start adding further panels on. We've got to get the cables tied, secured to the roof first before we go any further. We've isolated all the strings down in the garage, that's all safe. We've actually just run an earth clamp up to the bracketry, so the whole system is earth, so we can protect for any earth leakages. It's been a good day so far, it's been pretty quick. We've also run all the cabling up the other side of the building, down in some nice neat trunking, and yeah, I think you'll see the system's looking really good. So really good effort from everyone here, and yeah, great job so far. And you can look at the view, it's a beautiful day here in Slough, and we've even been lucky enough to see some condors or birds flying in the sky, so it's been a good day. The installation comprises of 6 strings. There's 2 AC strings and 4 DC strings that our system's going to be connected up to. So we've finished all the DC side of the system, so we've done 4 strings. That's 7 panels per string, that's 28 panels in total. We've got 16 panels to go, which comprises of the AC string. Now, the reason we put the DC on the right side and the AC far down is that there will be some voltage drop, and we want to make sure that the highest voltage lines are as far away from where the system is as possible, and the DC lines are as close to the batteries in the system as possible. So that's why we've organised it like that. And we've done all our continuity tests of the 4 strings, and it's all looking good. We're seeing over 300 volts on both of those lines. What we're doing is we put the top panel on, we obviously connect it to the string, then we put the bottom panel on, connect it to the string, and then move on. We'll always take the positive connection out of one panel, ready to go into the negative connection of the other panel. So it's critically important. You're doing a few things here. You're obviously working at height, you're working with electrics, and you're working with expensive, fragile equipment glass. So it's quite challenging. Okay, everybody, we're just watching this scaffold pole that's here. Cables are out. Thank you for pre-doing that. Guys and girls, that was brilliant. Well done, everybody. Right, what we're about to do is we're about to cut these tight, connect them, and test to see we get a loop. That looks good. That all looks brilliant. Finished the job here. This is Dion from Do Roofing, and he's done an unbelievable job helping us get these panels on the roof. I mean, him and his team have been absolutely fantastic, so we just want to say a big thank you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Great job. A couple of days work here, we've done fantastic.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We've now finished the installation. It's been a relatively simple job, to be honest, with the Schletter bracketing and the trapezoid roof, but that's all done. It's been about just 2 days of work, and all the strings run over the back of the building in some trunking and then into the garage where we'll be wiring up the rest of the system. One of the things we're quite proud of at Next Day Solar is our RECC membership. Now, our RECC membership is the Renewable Energy Consumer Code. It's incredibly important if you are having panels installed on your home or any thermal system or any renewable system that your installer, such as Next Day Solar, has this certification. We've been through a lot of testing, a lot of exercises, a lot of training and a lot of auditing to make sure that we install to the highest standards. And one of those standards, which I'll just show you now, is the PV array test report. Now, we've installed 6 strings on the roof. We've been testing as we go along. What we're doing now is actually testing each string. We're testing the sunlight on the roof with a meter that we have, and then we're recording all of the information that we're obtaining from the meter according to each string down. And that's to make sure that all the strings are correctly wired up, there's no issues with the strings, and we've got an accurate reading today of how the strings are performing. We're installing a very serious system into someone's property, so we need to make sure that it's working, it's safe, and it's built to last. This is our client, and I just really wanted to ask you, first thoughts, first impressions?
Well, the panels look absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
They've gone up very quick, which is great. We're hoping to get lots of use, it being a south-facing roof.
Well, we hope for many, many bright years ahead empowering this wonderful home, and we'll be back in about 2 weeks' time to install the board, commission and test all the equipment. The physical hard work is done, the technical work is still to come in installing the board and commissioning it. We are coming today for our final day of the installation. We are installing the batteries, we're wiring the cables. Now, we're running 250mm square cables down to the batteries, and so we've got over 100mm of DC wiring cable to bring up to the DC bus bar, and then off to each inverter is a lesser amount. So always should be a greater amount of cable running to the batteries and a lesser amount up to each of the 3 inverters. So that's what we're doing, and we'll carry on, we'll keep you updated. Wired up the batteries, we've earthed the batteries, we've set them up, we've communicated them. We have put all the AC wiring in, and we've earthed all the units as well. We're now putting the covers back on, we're labelling, we're actually wiring the PV, because we had isolated the PV array just to some DC isolators in the corner there. So we're now joining essentially all of the units to the PV arrays, or certainly the charge controllers to the PV arrays, and then we'll be able to turn them on, and then we'll see some voltage. And we haven't seen any voltage today. We've obviously tested the voltage before we came when we did the installation of the panels, but not through the system itself. So it's a very exciting moment to sort of make the switch turn on moment for any system. So that's where we're up to. Almost there, finishing line.
We are going to configure those 2 batteries and making sure that they work together by deciding which one is going to be the slave and which one is going to be the master.
Yeah. Really cool. Output power 600 watts now.
It's gone up to 30%. It's amazing how just a little change in.
It's so happy. 500 watts, 600 watts of power. We need to install a current clamp on the power supply of the home to see how much energy the house is using, because essentially when we use energy when the house says I'm using energy, we say right, we're going to give you energy, and then the grid doesn't give the energy, the solar system gives the energy. So that's the meter that we're installing right now.
The meter will show up on the device list on the GX devices, and accessing it will show the relevant information.
Ah, science! Just done our commissioning, testing and all our certification as part of our MCS and our ECC memberships. The system's working really well. We've done our formal handover to the customer, and they're now generating their own energy and actually feeding back energy to the grid. They've got rid of their LPG boiler that they had, so they're now generating their own energy. They're using an air source heat pump to generate their own heat from electricity, and they are totally off the grid. So if you're thinking of doing the same, follow our channel, learn lots more about solar PV, and we hope to help you in the future. Thank you.